You do. Yes, you do.
Well, just to give you guys a brief overview, not like you don't know, but there's a show that gives you insights of the journeys of high achieving business owners and music artists who share with the audience the importance of building a strong community of like minded individuals on the road to greater success. So let's dive right into it.
Let's go. Let's go.
Woo! You guys are in the hot seat today. Now let me stop.
My seat is definitely hot. I'll tell you that.
We stay in the hot seat. We've been outside, and that you know what it is.
Look, I'm hot over here, and I have the AC blasted. I mean, I'm thankful for the AC.
It's got to be one of the hottest days of the year.
Oh man. Oh yes, most definitely. Well, with that being said, okay, what was the spark that lit that fire for We Outside live cast?
Honestly, Discreet, I'll start off real quick.
Yeah.
Like literally, it was one Sunday, April 28th, about 16 months ago, 17 months ago now, almost whatever number of months. I said to Discreet, I was like, yo, let's just go on Facebook and have Discreet, and I love hip hop. So I was like, I don't know why, but I was like, yo, let's just go on Facebook today and have a conversation about hip hop. There was no rhyme or reason. There was no We Outside. It was just a conversation that we wanted to have. And it was such a dope conversation that we just had a conversation the next week. And then the next week. And then Discreet and I started talking behind the scenes. And from there, where did it go, Discreet?
I mean, because it's funny, when Mikey came up with the idea, I was about to put the idea to him as well. So it was almost like we were thinking the same thing and like discussed it. It was meant to be. But where we are now, I just did not think that we would be in the position where we are now. I mean, Mike, do you want to reel off some of the names?
Man, we've had Unconventional Kings, we've had Joe Black, we've had Terry C. Carney Sr. Today we're gonna have Chili Chill. We've had Derek Rush, who's a hell of a comedian, my brother from Colorado. We've had engineers, musicians, we've had barbers, everybody and anybody. We just love talking to people, kind of like you said, Annette, at the top of this conversation. Like, we just want to get with people who are real people, willing to have real conversations about being creatives, or just somebody that's out here in the world trying to make some dope shit happen. That's what we appreciate, authenticity. That's what the We Outside Livecast is, and that's where it started, and that's the flag that we're holding going forward, straight up.
And we like to try and dip into the history sometimes, don't we?
Indeed.
Yeah.
Yes. I've been tapping in with that hip hop history, and I really applaud you. Look.
Well, it's been busy lately, so we haven't actually touched on that for a couple of weeks now, 2.5 weeks maybe, Mikey. But we're sorting that out. We're gonna somehow sort that out to keep that part of the show.
We're gonna keep it going. We have to.
Yeah,
that's where it started, and it's us just paying our homage. To everybody that came before us. So, nothing more than that. You got to give respect where the respect is due,
Definitely. That's where it all comes from. So.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely love it because, like, I'm learning so much from you guys. I'm like,
appreciate it.
Let me go. Every time you do like an anecdotal, I'm like, Google. What is this? Wait, how did I miss this?
Oh, man.
The crazy thing is, I don't know whose page, but shout out to whoever posted it. I think it was King's TV.
Right.
He posted UMC. UMC was like the first Wu-Tang before Wu-Tang.
Yes, last
Wu-Tang.
week.
I'm like, what? Unless he had posted it, I would have never known.
And that's where, like, when I started getting into hip hop at a young age, for instance, when Eminem came out, I was about 18. And like Eminem would start mentioning rappers that came before him. Then that would get my attention, and I'd think, who's that then? Who's that? And then I'd start digging into who these people are. And that's what really got me delved into hip hop, really, and the history of it, to be fair.
Wow. That's amazing. Okay.
Tupac as well. He used to mention a lot of rappers before him, and I think, right, who's that? I've never heard of that person. I'd go and find out who it was.
Oh, okay. I love Tupac for sure. So you two come from different parts of the world, obviously. Yeah. How did the link up happen? I mean, why do you think it clicked like creatively between the two of you?
There's a mutual friend, wasn't it, Mike, that started it.
Yep.
And then from there on, me and Mikey just had a lot in common. And and we just started having great ideas together, didn't we, Mikey?
I think that's really what it comes down to. Just the authenticity that Discreet and I have, right? Like we met during COVID time, when the world was shut down, right? And through
2020.
Yeah, it was really about that. It was really about that time. And, we just got to know each other a little bit more and talking. And, Discreet was like, I came to find out that Discreet's a producer and his love for hip hop and yada, yada, yada. And this was about the time where, at least, it would have been 2021. So this is about the time, when music started coming into it, when I stopped drinking. I'm an alcoholic. I haven't touched a lick of alcohol in almost 4 years at this point. And so appreciate you, brother. And when I stopped drinking, I immediately needed something to replace it. Right. And like I said at the top of the conversation before we came on, I'm an open book, man. Like I'm an individual who walks my path and hope that the path that I've walked, good, bad, or otherwise, can have a positive effect in some way, shape, or form on people. So I don't shy away from my trials or tribulations in life because I know there's always lessons to be learned in something good, bad, or indifferent. And so I started sharing that with Discreet. And honestly, it's really funny how the music connection hooked up. Discreet was like, yo, I'm doing this I Smell Smoke Discreet cipher.
Oh, yeah, blah, blah, blah.
And I was like, yo, like I had been rhyming at this point, not like I am now, but I was like, yo, Discreet, can I pop on for a 16? I rap a little bit, blah, 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 blah. And Discreet said, yeah, sure, yada, yada. So that was our first musical connection. I was on Discreet's I Smell the Smoke cipher. And then from there, it's just like, he's like, I got some extra beats. I was like, yo, this is dope. And then we just started connecting musically, from there, so it went from that personal level to now that music relationship as a producer and an artist as well. And that's where it started. And then, in my opinion, for what it's worth, it's been going pretty goddamn beautiful. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Is that lawnmower in the background? Can anyone hear that?
No, I can't hear anything.
Cool. That's all right then.
I'm trying to go far from the mic so you won't hear my heavy breathing. No, just kidding. I might be like Jason. Oh gosh, that's so funny. I always get like so conscious about I do.
That was well loud next to me. Then I was thinking that they must be able to hear that, but it stopped actually now.
Oh, that's too funny. So, okay, how about you, Discreet? Like, anything else to add to it?
Well, like Mikey said, I started making hip hop about 2017. But, if that didn't happen, I probably would have never met Mikey. But I had like this epiphany on the toilet, like most people do. Yeah, one day I was like listening to hip hop, and it's like I want to start making music, like make my own music. And so I got on YouTube and found out what I had to do to start doing it. I had all these ideas in my head, this plan, and I've got to say, I've literally superseded it. I would say I didn't expect to be where I am now, but I had this idea of like, let's make my own music, get some real proper good rappers on my music. I've done that, and I've done more. I didn't expect to be a co-host on a podcast for a start that's got to where it's got to. But it all started about 2017, and now it's 2025, and in 8 years, I did not expect this to happen.
Okay, well, you know what? I love you guys for real. Like when I first, like Mikey P, I said, look, y'all have a dope show. Let's, I
appreciate that.
Thank you.
I can just see it skyrocketing. I mean, that's just my take because I really, you guys have this like, I don't know. It's just something about your aura and how you display the message, how you relate the message. And that's a hard thing to do. You know what I mean?
I just feel like it's just be yourself, I suppose.
Right. Right, exactly. I mean, you can't go wrong there. So, Mikey P, you lived in many lives, right? Like an entrepreneur, artist, visionary. I mean, I saw this. I think making chairs out of like drums. Like
yes,
like,
yes.
What? Like wow. Okay.
Exactly. That's what I thought.
Right. I'm like, I need to order one of those.
We ship. Just saying.
Right? One day I will. I sure will. For real. Also, like, what made you decide to do the Golden Era 100 Salute?
You know, it's really funny that you bring that up. So Discreet and I we were having a conversation back in December, this past December, 2024. And we were talking on Facebook Messenger, and Discreet said something about, I don't even, honestly, I'm gonna be honest, I have no idea how this fucking conversation even started. I don't.
It's too
but
far.
All I know, this is where the conversation started. Discreet was like, you should write like 3 songs or something today. I was like, yeah, that's a good challenge for me to do. I was like, maybe I'll just write 100 songs in less than a month.
That was it.
Wow. So I brought in jest, right? I brought up Mikey P is gonna write 100 fucking tracks in 1 month. So I'm a man.
I didn't think he was going to do it.
When I say something, jokingly or not, when I put something out to the universe, I'm like, yo, I said it. Now I got to do it. You know, you can say about it, you can be about it. So now Mikey P's got to be about it. So at the same time, right? Like it's December. I'm in the middle of putting a move together from Oklahoma City to Kansas City, right? Ooh. So funds are tight. But even if I had unlimited funds, I'm like, where the fuck am I going to go out and get 100 tracks that I'm gonna fuck with? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what? Like, here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna give myself kind of like I'm gonna take myself to rap college. The rap ayahuasca is what I called it. At the end of it all, right? So yeah, I was like, all right, I guess I'm writing 100 tracks in less than 30 days. So it was really an homage. Because, you know, where I grew up, as the crow flies, I grew up about 25 miles from where the birth of hip hop happened. The Bronx, New York, Sedgwick Ave, all right? So it was an opportunity for me to go on a rap ayahuasca, to put myself through, like, to like really teach myself, right? Because I was already on a level of elevation through the past couple months of you know, my music. So I was like, I don't know what my name's gonna be, because I used to be Wondr Mic, and that was when it was just fun and therapy and yada yada yada. I was at this point, I was like, all right, Wondr Mic's dead. I killed that motherfucker. Who's it gonna be? What's my sound gonna be? What am I gonna rap about? What the fuck am I gonna talk about? And I had ideas, right? But I was like, what the? So I used this as a way to pay homage, to level myself up, to help me find my sound, give me new cadence, new flows, to experiment. And really purge everything in my mind as far as anything I've ever wanted to write about, going all the way back to 10 years old when I first discovered Das Effects, They Want Effects. Straight up, when I heard that song 30-some years ago, I was like, that song made me want to be a fucking rapper.
Wow.
It just straight up was. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to purge everything. That way, with all the new stuff I've already got going on in the vault, things I was writing, I really now have a clear path to what I'm gonna write about, what my character is gonna be, which is not a character. My name is Michael Palavra, hence Mikey P. I ain't this man. I'm just a motherfucking dude who loves hip hop. Hence, I'm Mikey P, man. That's it, man. I ain't nobody special. I'm just a dude who wants to be a visionary, who is an asset to people, and wants to be a fucking rapper. That's it. So not in so much a long and short, and that's where the 100 track Salute came from, because I threw it out to myself jokingly, and then it's something that it was a check that I had to fucking cash. You know what I mean?
Well, I love this Mikey P. So
I appreciate it.
I think you're doing a wonderful job.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Salute to you for
much
sure.
Love. Much love.
So Discreet, right?
Yeah.
AKA the alien, as Mikey P says, coming up.
This is why.
Right?
That's where it comes from. Someone said, like, you look like an alien, and it's stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was the moment that made you fall in love with hip hop?
Well, I would dabbled into hip hop before I proper fell in love with it, like Snoop Dogg's Doggy Style.
Oh.
And there was a song on there, G's and Hustlers. I love that song, but I wasn't fully into hip hop. But when I heard Tupac's All Eyes on Me in one of my friend's cars, that was it. I didn't want to listen. I wasn't interested in no other music anymore. And that from that point, I started wanting to learn about other artists. But yeah, Tupac, All Eyes on Me. The moment I heard that, that was it.
All eyes on you, that's for sure.
Thank you.
Because we outside right now and in the know.
Indeed.
But, yeah, he's still my number one favorite rapper to this day. Definitely.
Me too. I do. I have his T-shirt, so you know, I don't know. It's just something about him. I'm always like drawn to him.
He's just he's still, no one's ever been to, like, matched his aura or like the way he was, the way he done it. Like, I've never come across anyone like him still to this day.
For sure. So what do you find different, right, between hip hop culture in the US versus in the UK for both of you?
Well, I'll let you answer first.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I mean, I don't want to be, I'm from here, so I hope no one comes to get me, but American hip hop is far, far better. I mean, that's what the UK have been like copying, basically. It's got its own like sound and like slang, definitely. But I just find a lot of the UK stuff just sounds the same. They've all got the same flow, and I'm not a fan of it. There are a few exceptions, like H. I don't know if you've heard of H. He's from Manchester, UK. There's a very few that I like, but I just love American hip hop. I'm not really interested in the UK scene, to be fair. But yeah, I don't want to say too much about how I feel about the UK scene because I just don't rate it. Let's say.
Okay, that's where I come in. That's where I come in then.
Yeah, that's where you come in now.
Listen, I'm gonna be very. I'm gonna say this first and foremost. All right, I salute anybody that is out here creating anything. And here's why.
I will quickly say this.
No, it's my turn.
It's good. What they're doing is very good. I just don't like it.
I'm just kidding. Go ahead. I'm just kidding, Discreet. Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
No, it's like what they're doing is obviously successful because they're selling and they're making money. So you got to respect that they're doing it well. It just doesn't fall nice in my ears. That's all.
No, fair enough. And I think what I was saying there. I salute anybody anywhere that creates, and this is the most important reason for me because you brought something into this world that previously did not exist. That's fucking dope. That's fucking dope, right? And so I'm always going to salute and respect that. Yeah. Now, to your question, Annette, my thoughts and takes on American hip hop versus UK hip hop. Very much what everything Discreet said. There's a couple of artists that I'm like, yo, I kind of fuck with that dude. But I think the biggest difference for me is number one, because there's so much influence from American hip hop in UK. I think the culture as a whole lacks authenticity. They are. Let me put it this way. I think this is the best way to put it. I think they are still trying. The UK hip hop scene is still trying to find their identity, right? And what I mean by that simply is, you look back at American hip hop. We're 53 plus years old now, right? I think, and it's my feelings, that UK hip hop is in the infancy of what they got going on, right? They're still right in the very beginning. So a lot of UK hip hop to me, other than maybe a few couple people sounding all the same, like Discreet says, it reminds me of very early hip hop days in America, where everything was just very boom, boom, hardcore with those bars and the beats, right there. Today in America, there's a lot more flow and cadence and really, really fucking like manipulating words and shit like that. And I feel UK is just like boom, 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 boom. There's no like real flow to it, if that makes sense. But that's me.
Yeah, that makes sense. I have to admit, I do like the accent, so I'm kind of partial. But for some reason, and I've been kind of like delving into like the Canadian French hip hop scene too, where I'm like, wow, I don't understand the word that what they're saying, but it sounds good. You know what I mean?
had a period of time where I was listening to that. Obviously, I didn't understand it, but it was being sent to me a lot once upon a time.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That definitely shifts your mind when you hear a different language to hip hop, if that makes sense.
Definitely. Yeah, definitely.
But
very much. Oh, good.
Okay. No, good.
No,
good.
Well, I was gonna say, with what you were talking about, whether it's a different language, you don't even understand the words that they're saying. A lot of people don't know this, but when it comes to music, 73% of people listen to music for the reasons that you kind of just mentioned, Annette, in the sense of just listening to that flow and that sense of just riding like something that they can just bop to, right? 27% of people listen to music for the actual lyrics.
I'm one of them because it bothers me.
Yeah, so when you talk about like making a hit, right? It's funny. I was talking to Jay Peasy. Shout out to our brother Jay Peasy. Jay Peasy, not just, but Jay Peasy, for the context of this part of the conversation, produced Tech Nine's most recent album, 5816 Force Ave, which I'm telling y'all right now, if you have not heard that shit, go listen to it, and you got to listen from the beginning all the way to the end. All right,
it's a great album.
I was having a conversation with Jay Peasy last year when he was working on a track with me, right? And he's like, think about it from this perspective. The New York Times here in America, the New York Times writes their newspaper at a 4th grade level. Why is that? We're talking the New York Times, one of the most, successful papers in fucking history, right? Well, they write at the 4th grade level because they want to appeal to the masses. They're trying to sell, right? How can you sell a paper to people that don't understand or comprehend beyond that level, right? It's the same thing in hip hop or music as a whole. You can make, a song that caters to that 73%. That's going to be more likely if you're making a song or music for monetary purposes, right? Well, that's what you want to do. You want to make something that's going to speak to that 73% of the masses, right? Yeah. Whereas if you're just trying to make a track for the love, the passion, you want to drop some fucking bars and put something that's over people's head where they got to bust out their little fucking scope to be like, yo, what is this cat talking about? Go do your motherfucking homework, right? And, I say that because Jay Peasy said, yo, that's what you got to do. If you're trying to make music or money with music, that's what you have to do. Now, once you get to the point where, you're put on and you're at least sustainable as a musician at that point, and you've built a following, you could talk about, say whatever the fuck you want at that point. But, if you're looking to make money, hey, man, you got to at least make a majority of your music that is going to speak to masses. That's going to buy your money. Otherwise, there's not going to be sustainability there. If that's what it's about for you as an artist.
Well spoken. Wow. That's amazing. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And then there's like that sweet spot, right, where you want to mesh the two together. Like, how do I create my art where I truly love it, like the quality of it, and display it to the masses to make $1 or $2, maybe, hopefully, not 0.0001 on Spotify.
I've made more money than I ever thought I would as well. No, I'm not rich. Don't get me wrong, but I didn't expect no money to really come from it. But it's trickled along here and there in little places. So I mean, which surprised me. It can be done.
Yeah, indeed.
Okay. So what's something nobody knows about either of you?
I got one. Happened to me yesterday.
Okay.
Go ahead, Discreet.
It's random as fuck.
What?
I got banned from driving today. Yesterday.
What?
Yeah, I know.
Don't tell me you're nasty.
That was just random. I thought nobody knows that, so I'll say that.
Fast and Furious.
No.
I love Fast and Furious.
It was no tremendous speeds, but yeah, speed camera multiple times. And yeah, totaled up. They called it the totting up process that I had to go through. So yeah. But now I've had to go to court. That's the first time I've ever been in court. And it was intimidating. I thought I was going to walk into quite a small room because it's a minor offence. But it was like being on telly.
Or like the parliament. Like
Parliament. Yeah. It really was.
Well, at least they don't take that shit.
There's not something no one knows about me.
At least you didn't take the shoe and throw it in there.
Oh, man, no. I was shaking at times. I was starting to feel myself getting nervous. It was like, whoa, I'm shaking a bit now. But it's an experience I'm glad I've had because I never want to go back in the courtroom again.
Amen.
No way.
Me. The only thing I could really think of off the top of my head to share, there was a point in time, and this was pre-dispensary days, people, that I was making $20,000 a week off of selling weed.
Damn.
I was running multiple pounds a week from the Canadian. I wasn't running. I had runners picking up pounds of weed at a time per week. I was living in Rhode Island, and man, I was running game from the Canadian-U.S. border. And yeah, I was flipping 20 grand a week. It's in one of my songs.
That story shocked me.
Wow.
Well, Mikey's told me that before, and considering what he does now and what he's involved in now, that I didn't think he would have done that once upon a time.
Nobody would, Discreet. That's why it's something that nobody knows about me, but now y'all know.
This is for entertainment purposes.
Hey, also, let's be clear. The statute of limitations, that shit is long over. I know. We're good. We're good.
No Breaking Bad up in here.
Oh, you know what though? You know what? Let's stay on this topic real quick. Here's another something.
Mikey's got two.
At 20 years old, I went to Canada. All right, I went to Canada at 20 years old.
I've got about 100, but you're only getting one.
I was coming back across the border, and I didn't know. And now, mind you, we had been partying in Montreal all night. College kids partying in Montreal. Yo, man, we were leaving back. We hadn't slept in like 24 hours. We were drunk at like 6 o'clock in the morning still. Missed our bus in the morning. Finally caught a bus. I didn't even realize that that we had weed on us still.
Oh, no.
We get to U.S. Customs, me and my boy Devin. I still talk to Devin to this day. He lives out in New Jersey. And we forgot we had weed on us, so we stuff it in the center of like our seats where we're sitting on the bus. We get off the bus, go do the customs thing, blah blah blah. Get back on the bus. We're like, good. We get on the bus. The customs agents come and get us on the bus. Me and my boy Devin, we get pulled off the bus. We had two other cats with us. We ended up being held for 24 hours. It was a Sunday. And we sat in the U.S. Customs building basically for like 24 hours. It was cool, like, because it was just a little weed. We weren't like trafficking or anything like that. You know what I mean? So like at the end, once we like paid our fine and went through the process and whatnot, the customs agents were cool as hell. Like you can't walk. Literally, they won't physically let you walk away from the customs building. So like they weren't holding us at this point, but we had no way to leave customs, right? We needed food and yada yada yada. So the custom agents ended up being cool. They like, we gave them money. They ended up going and getting us pizza and whatnot. And then like the next morning, finally they're like, yo, this isn't even your bus. But they talked to the bus person. They were like, yo, you're taking these 4 fucking people to New York City to get to their next bus. So there you go. 2 things weed involved. I got detained at the Canadian-U.S. border, and I used to run multiple pounds a week where I was selling. I had like 20 to 25 grand coming through my hands week in, week out. It was crazy, man. Wow. It was fucking crazy.
Man, whew. I can't even fathom, but wow. So
Discreet. This is for the G's. This is for the hustlers. So
the start, the intro as well was just memorable to me. Song.
Wow,
Snoop in the classroom, innit? What do you want to be when you grow up?
Right, exactly.
Oh man, I was about 14, I think.
That is very, very interesting. Okay, So now, like everybody was entertained from our discussions. Who are your top 3 artists, both in the US and UK?
Well, mine would be America, Tupac, Eminem, Redman.
Redman, okay.
Yeah, that's my top 3. And UK would it's tough. H would probably in there at the moment, but oh man, Plan B. I'd probably put him in there. He's not around so much no more, but you know he was around at the start. I don't know. You've caught me on UK because I really just don't keep up with anything around here. Okay. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, Plan B, he's a legend. He could sing. I tell you what, when I first heard him singing, I thought it was a woman featuring on his song.
What?
And then later down the line, I come to realise that it was him singing. And I was like, what? And he's produced films, he's directed films, he can rap. He's a legend. I used to really like him.
Wow.
And there's another one. Oh, I can't remember his name now. It might come to me. But someone back in the day in the UK scene. But no, I'll leave it over to Mikey. But more Tupac, Eminem, Redman. Okay. I'm going to see Redman in August.
Oh.
Over here. So yeah. I'm
looking forward to that. That's gonna be a dope show.
Oh yeah.
That's gonna be a hella dope show.
Yeah.
You know, for me, I don't listen to too much UK rap. So I'll say Stormzy. I'll give you one. Stormzy. Okay. I like Stormzy a lot. You know, for me, American, it varies, you know, from the day that you're asking me for different reasons. Because, you know, music, you know, as you kind of talked about earlier, Annette, it's a language, right? And it speaks to me. It's always, you know, music has always spoke to me. You know, 3 that consistently speak to me. I would have to say DMX without question.
Oh yeah.
DMX without fucking. He's my number 1. He's my number
DMX
1. When you talk about authenticity and energy and just no fucks given, you know, that's where it's at for me, honestly. So DMX, Eminem for the same reason. Eminem, you know, most people are like, because he's white. Nah, man, it has nothing to do with that, bro. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, I appreciate people who could come out and not give a fuck
is better than Tupac, but Tupac just means more to me.
You know, so Eminem, DMX, like you know, Pac's always gonna be up there, right? Pac's always gonna be up there. Yeah. That goes without question. So I'm not gonna say Pac just for that reason. But here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna give you 2 people that over the last like year and a half, well, actually, this one individual specifically, over the last year and a half, I've been really listening to hardcore. All right. And so this is going to take number 5 and 6, since I only gave one to the UK. X-Rated.
Oh.
Man, yo, let me tell you, and Tech 9 as well.
Okay.
And here's why. Because when you talk about authenticity, when you talk about not shying away from their stories and their histories, listen, I'm going to be very, very clear right here. X-Rated. Man, big salute and shout out to that dude, because with the life that he's lived, and to see what he's doing now and giving back as an activist like he is, man, like he's a person where, you know, most people would fold, and most people have folded in the scenario that he found himself in. And look what he's doing now. He's putting out real dope, authentic, beautiful fucking.
He's got an aura about him.
It does for himself. That's what it is for me, because I've had the pleasure of meeting X-Rated. I mean,
can I quickly ask you something, Mike?
Go ahead.
When I see him on camera, on videos, talking, right, it just seems like he's got this aura around him. Do you feel that when you're with him?
100%. And I've been in multiple different settings with him. I've been in the studio with him. I've been just on, observing him doing some merch shoots. You know, I got to break bread with him. He was kind enough to take me, OG Dooney, and Vanessa out to dinner one night. You know, I got to, be with him backstage at one of his shows. He's just a regular fucking human being. And same thing with Tech Nine.
Yeah.
Like same thing with Tech Nine. Somebody that's been doing this for 30 years pretty much at this point. Like they do it. They are the quintessential artists that do it for the love and the passion of the art and the messages that they share. And to be able to experience them as human beings, it was Discreet. I told you this back in November when I had this beautiful experience. It was extremely refreshing for me. I'm in Strangeland, okay? You know, this is the building, this is the land that Tech Nine, and shout out to Travis O'Gwyn as well. They built this land. So, you know, this is Tech Nine's home, you know, and like I just needed to use the restroom. And I was like, hey, you know, Tech, where's the restroom? This dude got the fuck up out of his seat to show me where the restroom was. Not because he was, you know, worried that I was going to do anything, but he was just a genuine, humble human being saying, yo, you are a guest in my house. Let me be the gracious host that I am and show you where that is. Or getting to meet his wife or his little daughter, Alina, just to see him in that family setting. Like, come on, bro. Like, man, they are true quintessential people who live what they say in their music. And man, I appreciate that. So, you know, for that those reasons alone, you know, they are some of my favorite artists without question. And that's in addition again to DMX, Eminem, and of course Pac, you know, for the authenticity.
Wow. Yeah, I need to do
my
more
number
research.
4 is Exhibit, because I always say my top 4 will never change. So it goes Eminem, Tupac, Eminem, Redman, Exhibit. I don't think that will ever change.
You know, you want to hear something freaky? So I was thinking about Exhibit before you said it.
Did you?
I'm like, oh God, this is the alien. No, for real. I literally was thinking about Exhibit.
I loved him from the day I come across him, and it's just never faded. Do you know what I mean?
Wow. So moving on to your We Outside live cast, right? Your podcast doesn't hold back. What are some of the most transparent conversations you've had so far?
Yes, good question. I mean, I'm thinking straight away Terry C. Carney.
Yeah.
And that's a recent one. But there's been quite a few now, and it's hard to remember them all, isn't it? But there's been
one that jumps out to me when we had C Real the Genius, an artist out of Canada. My apologies.
Yeah.
It was recently after Trump was inaugurated, and you know, man, we went right into it. What is Canada? Yeah, because you know this is the time where Trump was like, I'm gonna fucking like annex Canada and take it over, and Greenland's minerals are gonna be mine, and you know all this motherfucking shit. Like he's fucking Gru from the fucking Minions over here trying to rule the world and shit, right? And we were just very yo, what is Canada's thoughts, man? Like, we don't like. We're here to talk about real shit. Like we tell people when you come on our show, it's not our. Let me be very clear. It is not the We Outside livecast is not the show of Discreet and Mikey P. It's not. It is a show that is owned by the culture, Annette. It is the show that when you come on as a special guest, it is your show. So with that, I would say honestly, every show is exactly what you just asked about, Annette, because we don't hold back. There's no sponsors. And if there's ever going to be a day where we do have sponsors, y'all are just gonna have to support what the fuck we're doing, because this is real life. In a world of fake, we are here to bring the fucking realness and authenticity to you. And that is what you get with every show, right? We don't own this shit. The culture owns it. And when tomorrow, when you are on the show, it is your show. So we can talk about whatever the fuck you want. When you're outside, like in the real world, like in the hip hop culture, like you keep shit real, right? There is no holding back. We can talk about anything the fuck, excuse me. I don't know if we can on your show or not. We're guests on your show today, so forgive me. But we don't care. Like the only thing that we care about is having real conversation. And that's what we get with every show. So literally every show is transparent with us. You know, Unconventional Kings. you know, when High Def was talking about where him and Low Key really came together, coincidentally, Discreet, we discovered on the show when we had them, it was really about they connected the same time during COVID, the way that we did, in a sense as well. So there's kind of like, you know,
those connections happened.
Yeah, man, for sure.
That are really successful today.
Yeah, JPZ. Man, like literally, it's every show. Like we could probably give you a so how long do we have here today? Because I can go show by.
I'm thinking Joe Black. Joe Black as well. And the basketball player, I can't remember the basketball player's name. Apologies.
Coach Marv.
Yeah, that was that. I remember that getting real serious. Like, you know, what we were talking about.
Oh, okay. Well,
there's been a lot. But we have some fun as well, like Derek Rush.
Yes.
I was nearly falling out my chair when we had Derek Rush on.
Wow.
I remember he's coming back. He's coming back in a couple of weeks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He's a comedian, and I remember he told a joke, and oh my god, I nearly fell out my chair. I swear to God.
About the cheese and the dog. Yep.
Yes. Yeah. Oh man, I can't deliver it the way he delivered it. No way.
Okay. Well, with that being said, let's go ahead and share the podcast that you have. So everybody, make sure you tap in, okay, to their podcast. It's We Outside Live Podcast here on YouTube. And as you can see, I want to know which one is the one with the joke.
Is that on there?
It's gonna go down. You're gonna have to go down. Keep on going down.
Because I know.
You know what? Groovy. Man, Groovy was a dope conversation. We're gonna have to scroll up a little bit. Derek Rush is who we're looking for.
Okay, gotcha.
Is Derek Rush on there, bro? Because remember.
Oh, no. He's not. This was before, so it's not.
That's why we're getting him back on. Because he's got to be on the YouTube channel.
Yes.
Oh,
that
okay.
Correct.
That is something that I remember being quite disappointed about when there was a number of shows we couldn't get on the YouTube channel.
Oh.
Yeah, because
that was one of them.
Download them off of Facebook. That's when we started with Facebook. But yeah, we got right on the video section and then the live section. You'll find a lot more episodes that we've done.
Yeah,
because those are the lives that come directly, through our StreamYard. So I mean, we've had all kinds of people on our show. Monster Yo talk about a transparent
Monster Yo, how can I forget him
talking about like literally damn near every show that we've had. It's just real and authentic and transparent as it comes. Like we keep shit real. We don't shy away from that at all.
Free Monster Yo.
Yes, definitely. How did I forget Monster Yo show?
Jay Burton,
because that was important.
Free Burton.
Banks. Prentice Banks is going to be on our show next Wednesday.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So looking forward to that, man. Like, again, I don't care who you are. If you got a story to tell and you're willing to be authentic with us, this is We Outside Livecast is the show for you because that's what it is. It's just authentic conversation. There's no such thing as an interview with us. We're just human beings having a real conversation.
Just start talking, don't we?
Yep.
Well, we can play one of these if you want. I know Terry C. Carney Sr. is coming on my show on Monday. So, but which one do you think we should highlight for today, or maybe a couple?
Discreet. What are you thinking? Discreet. Anything that you're seeing there?
I straight off my head, a recent one, Justified, maybe.
Oh, okay. Let's see.
And
that'll be the latest one.
That's going to be under the videos section.
Yeah, that'll be,
So it'll be that one right there.
That was a real good conversation as well. Yeah.
I was actually peeping it earlier, but let's go ahead and play it for the audience. Here we go.
Empty Equivalent was good.
It fucked me up in life. Like, I'm an alcoholic, bro. I haven't drank in 4 years, but a lot of, I think the reason that I became an alcoholic was a lot of underlying issues as a kid growing up and dealing with shit with my family. And my parents, my mom was an alcoholic. My mom was a gambling addict. My father was an alcoholic as well. Like my family was just a family of addicts, right? Mm-hmm. And for a long time of my life, man, I hit the bottle. I fucked with some pills early in mid 20s to desensitize myself to the feelings that I was having because I grew up in that environment where It wasn't okay to talk to therapists. It wasn't okay to share your feelings. Nah, man, you just fucking toughen up. You pound on your chest and you keep walking like a man. I'm gonna tell you right now, I did that till I was about 35. Man, my life was fucked up. I stopped drinking. I replaced it with writing and music and sharing my vulnerability through music. Amen. The way that I know, I'll tell you right now, I'm one of the most powerful human beings for that. The vulnerability that I've offered to myself, the vulnerability, more importantly, that I've offered to people that I have relationships with of any kind, my wife, my daughter, Discreet, whoever, has given me so much more power in the last 4 to 5 years than in the first 35 plus years of my life. Let's even call it maybe 25 years, when, once you get to about those teenage years, you can start putting shit together, right? The most powerful I've ever been is because I've chosen to be vulnerable. What are your thoughts on that? On any potential power of being vulnerable, if you will, because that's a bad word for some people. Certainly people growing up in our generation.
Well, I think I'm being put in a vulnerable position now, even, sitting here talking with you about this topic matter, because when we're out here in the public eye, right? I was just telling somebody yesterday, and I wasn't planning on having a tear for him when I said it, or when the passion came out. I said, it's hard being in the spotlight. That's vulnerability. To have people expect more from you than they expect from themselves, to people to hold you to a higher level of whatever than even God himself does, because you're justified. You can't do this, or you can't be seen doing that, or you can't say this, or you can't, man, why? You do it, right? So if I'm correct in thinking that just stepping outside and standing for something and making yourself available to God's calling, that there's no more vulnerable position, because you're automatically put. Martin Luther King was as strong leader as he was, but he was vulnerable. Malcolm X was a strong black leader, but he was vulnerable because he was spotlighted. He wasn't the only one saying, his walks. But he was the spotlight. So when people like Terry Carney and Justified and Suave and Ice-T, when we make ourselves the mouthpiece of a movement, we've become vulnerable, because now we're there is a spirit assigned to each and every one of our purpose. And once you step into your purpose, that activates that enemy to your purpose. So understanding your purpose and having the courage to walk in it makes you vulnerable to the attack. Because long as you're not walking in your purpose, as long as you're not being the vessel that God has called you to be, you're okay. You're unbothered. You're not. But when you use
you're
like
Switzerland,
step out there,
Switzerland, just chilling neutral.
I'm a target. I've made myself vulnerable to attack because I've chosen to trust God that no weapon formed against me will prosper. But I'm still out there. I'm still a target. If somebody doesn't like our movement, they're not going to bring up the names of all the people in the community that feel how I feel, that love how I love, that move how I move. They're going to say that nigga Justified, or that light-skinned, bald-head motherfucker Terry. They gonna attack us, bro. We have made ourselves vulnerable to people's opinion because we've chosen to use our voice and spotlight something that's bigger than a movie. It's a movement, right? And if I could, because this thought was coming to me while you was talking, and it's so relevant to the movie, right? We're in the same. When you had Nintendo when you was a kid.
Oh yes, yep.
What gun games did we have on Nintendo?
Duck Hunt.
I was gonna say.
Stop there, because that's the one I was thinking.
Yep, Duck Hunt, man. Literally, gun in your hand.
We shot ducks, right?
Hi, Discreet.
Hello.
Taught us to shoot ducks, right? Then I think about when the other game, Contra.
Oh, yeah, Contra, Super Contra, yep.
But even though it was guns, it put it in its proper place, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was war. They were military, right?
Yes.
And then the gun games, they went into more, Call of Duty, right?
GTA.
These are military. These kind of situations make sense for guns.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. But then you get how do we plague this hip hop culture? Oh, we're gonna get these niggas Grand Theft Auto where they shoot and kill each other.
Mm-hmm.
Huh? They made Duck Hunt and Contra for that.
Right.
But for you niggas, we're going to give y'all Grand Theft Auto and we're going to show y'all how to kill each other. We're going to embed this message of self-destruction through a video game to where you're sitting on the game and you're consciously shoot that motherfucker, get him, cuz.
You showed this bit of it. Because it's like, that's as real, like, that's how we go.
Wow. So, okay, back to that was very deep. And I could keep going. I didn't bring my popcorn, but we're doing a live watch of movie watch. But that makes a lot of sense. That the whole when I had a Nintendo back in the day, the Duck Hunt, the correlation as to you holding that weapon.
I tell you what. Sorry, but it's something I've been thinking about recently. It's like we've got all these laws against us that we're not allowed to do, right? Like, for instance, me getting banned from driving. You're not allowed to go over certain limits over certain places. But they give me a car that can go up to 120 miles an hour. Yet they don't want you to speed. So why are you giving me that car for? Like, why, if you don't want me to go out shooting people, why are you giving me a game to play where I can shoot people and get that in my mind? Oh, I want to do this for real now. Do you know what I mean? They cause it. I'm telling you, they know exactly what they do because they want to make money.
It's systematic. It's systematic. And that's...
You're not allowed to drive this fast, but here's your 120 miles an hour car.
It is by design, Discreet. For sure. For sure. Sorry, now you were going to say something.
Yeah, sorry.
No, you're fine.
Yeah.
Because my son, my oldest one, right, when he was, I don't even know, 10, maybe 9, 10. Mom, I really want to go on that GTA or whatever. I'm like, no.
Not them.
There was some games that I like Call of Duty. No, are you joining the military? You just sign up at 17, because I was in the service for 24 years. So I mean, I've been.
You've done it. You've done it. And thank you for your sacrifice. Thank you for your service. Truly.
Thank you. Yeah. And it's something when you're holding that rifle, that M16, or you're holding that M60 machine gun, that thing has a lot of power.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it really kills people.
Yes. You're in the foxhole and literally, I mean, I'm just getting chills, a flashback in the foxhole. And there's another, my buddy, she's shorter than me. She's I don't know, 4'9", and she's in the fox. We're both in the foxhole. You good? Because her Kevlar was on the weapon, right? And you're trying to get your sights, but they say make sure you put it in the socket so that way it doesn't hit you. But that thing is serious business.
It is.
And throwing hand grenades. I mean, they basically, when you're in boot camp, you can't have any distractions at all. And that goes even for food. You're basically trained to kill. I mean, excuse me, or unalive, or whatever the term nowadays what we use. But that's what you're there to do.
Yeah.
And so, with that being said, having that mindset really warps your spirit, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because that's what you have to do. You have to switch that on, or you know how to switch it off. But the problem is the switching off process. How do you switch that not unaliving off? right?
Mm.
Because that's what we're trained in battle to do.
Yeah.
I agree. And I think that really just speaks to like conditioning, right? You grew up in certain environments, like, for example, to that point,
School's the same.
To what Justified was talking about when it comes to the GTA and stuff like that. Like me growing up, what I was saying in the beginning of that clip about my upbringing, my parents and my mother and my father, like, it's a double-edged sword, right? Because I am a lot of who I am today because of them, the sacrifices that they did make, right? I will never deny that ever, ever, right? But at the same time, from them being addicts, I grew up in a family of fucking addicts, like, right? Like, for their relationships, my growing up as a child in my household, I was conditioned, okay, to basically think that it's okay because my parents fought nonstop. And like, I'm not like an argument, like they fucking fought, right? They would go 2 weeks sometimes without talking to each other, throwing shit, blah, blah. And so, like, I observed and learned that, well, wow, this is okay because they've been together at this point for 30 years or whatever. Well, it works for them. That's what I learned what a relationship is, right? So I'm on my second marriage, okay? I did not have healthy relationships once I started getting into relationships with dating or my first wife, or in some cases, friends, acquaintances, people that I was, working with. Because I was conditioned to know that you can say whatever and however that you want to somebody, but because you love them and you care about them, it's okay. And when you just simply just say, I'm sorry, and nothing more behind that, when you're not even apologizing truly for what you're actually apologizing for, that things should just go back to being okay. Nah, man. Nah, that is so fucking unhealthy. And it took me 36 years to learn that shit.
Yeah.
That's not okay. And we're conditioned. And to your question, Annette, give me a second here, Discreet. Hold your thought.
That's all right.
Because this is important. When you are conditioned to that point, no different. And I'll use this example. When I stopped drinking, that was a very big part of my life. A very, very big part of my life.
Yeah.
I stopped immediately. It was October, like fucking 14th or something. My wife came to me and was like, yo, here's the fucking deal. You have a choice. You can choose your family or you could choose booze. From that conversation, no bullshit. I have not had one sip of alcohol from that conversation. You want to know why? Because it was a fucking choice that I had to make.
Yeah.
It was a choice. I was already conditioned that booze was the most important thing to numb me, but I had an epiphany moment, and was like, yo, what do you want, bro? Is this the life that you want? Because if you choose booze, it's going to be you and booze. That's going to be your relationship basically for the rest of your life. Yeah. And I stopped immediately. But what I needed to do, I needed to recondition myself and replace that conditioning that I had. To numb myself, it wasn't about numbing myself anymore. It was about being real and vulnerable to myself. And that's where the writing came in. And that's when I started writing. I immediately replaced writing or the booze with writing immediately, because I needed to. If I didn't have something to immediately replace that, I'd probably still be drinking, and I'd probably be a single dude with no family right now. But it's conditioning. So you have to replace that conditioning with something. But you have to be able to heal. You have to tell yourself, I've been talking to this dude La Bent out in Cali the last couple of weeks. We struck up a really good friendship and relationship based on both of us being alcoholics. And I've told him to do two things over these last couple of weeks. Number one, in this reconditioning process, I told him, look yourself in the mirror and forgive yourself 3 times a day, because that's part of the healing process. That's part of being vulnerable with yourself. Yeah. And the next step that I gave him is tell yourself that you are worthy. Because let me tell you, and I'm talking to you two right now on this cast. I'm looking at everybody that's watching this with us right now. You are a worthy human being, whether you think it or not. I promise you are worthy, and it's okay to forgive yourself. Like, the whole thing is, for me, I've had past transgressions, but if I come with intent and the integrity that there's genuineness and sincerity, behind trying to fix something that I made a mistake for, well, you know what more can I ask for? Like it's going to be up to that other person in the relationship whether they accept it or not. But I can't control that. I can control atoning for my past transgressions and what I've done, right? But you have to be able to be vulnerable and tell yourself that you're worthy and forgive yourself in order to do that.
True.
You were gonna say?
Oh, when Mikey was talking, there was a point when he said something, and it's like that's the reason why in a relationship, normally there's been one time where I put up with it for 8 months, but if you cheat on me once, that's it, I'm gone. I am gone because I just know they'll do it again.
Yeah.
There was an occasion where I tried for 8 months to change someone, but it didn't work. But yeah, he put a spell on me, I think, that one. But everyone else, I don't normally put up with it. But like these things, when something bad happens, someone does something bad to you, if you accept it, they'll normally do it again. Because they took that. So if I have to do that again, I know I'll probably get away with it.
So true. You know, it's like you're gaslighting yourself, right? And thinking, oh, they'll change down the road, or like a zebra has stripes, right? And I worked with a bunch of veterinarians in my past, and they're like, if it's a duck, if it looks like a duck, quacks like a duck, it's a duck. Yeah. If it has stripes on it, it's a zebra. You know what I mean? Like you can't change the origin of the animal.
Exactly. Yeah.
And it's, I'm glad that see, that's another thing, the vulnerability between the two of you. That's what I love and I'm passionate about, because I'll share a story since we're storytelling today.
Let's do it.
So, for all my years, and I won't mention because I still look, 35, maybe 30, 27. Anyway, all my years of growing up, right? I always wonder why, like, I had this void inside my spirit. Like, I was always closer to God and what have you. But I always felt like something was missing, right? So I was going through like abandonment issues growing up, and I realized, that's why, in my past relationship, that's why, and I ended up with like toxic men or whatever. And I because I was attracting that, because that was what I was taught growing up. I was moving from house to house, like different households. And then of course, growing up, you're never going to amount to anything. So instead of the alcohol, it was more of like toxic verbal abuse that I went through. Emotional abuse. And so I decided, I had an epiphany. I'm like, you know what? At this age in my life, at this time in my life, I'm going to like just say, maybe this is so dark, but like prune like energies from my life. And so I decided to cut my family off, because like I literally cut my family off because, and it's not like I don't have love, but it's just like, it's like a infected root or something of a plant. And you can't change the root, right? Yeah. Because everybody's infected by that toxicity, and it's okay for me to be quiet, because, don't talk while I'm talking, or don't, now I'm like, Annette is an adult. And that can do whatever the hell Annette wants to do.
Yeah, that's true.
And I'm like, you know what? No, I'm not sugar. I'm not going to be around fake people. And I'm not going to be around people that don't treat me or my kids right. Yeah. Like if there's something always negative to say.
Yep.
And do I want to go against the grain when we have family outings? So no. I'm done. So I literally cut, and they're probably like wondering, what the hell did I do? Well,
and let them think about it.
Now, if they listening to this, now you know.
Yeah.
No, and I support that. I do not hold one blood relative. Hold on, let me think about this for a second. Yeah, I do not hold a relationship of meaning with any of my blood relatives. None. For the same exact reason that you just described. I have cut off, or let me back up. Let me put it this way. The universe has extracted that negativity from my life. And you know what? There used to be a point in time where I'm like, oh man, that's kind of sad. It's not sad. It's what necessary for me to live the life that I'm here to live and walk the path that I'm here to live, because I'm about nothing but positivity. And listen, I don't care who you are. If you're not down with that shit, man, like I'm sorry. You can go sit over there. Like, because I don't want your energy in my fucking space. That's a fact. That's a fact. Yeah. I live by a saying, blood makes you related. Loyalty makes you family. Discreet is more my brother than my blood sister is. She could get hit by a bus today. I don't wish that upon her, but she could get hit by a bus today, and I can get the call, and I'd be like, okay, cool. I'm not going to her funeral or wake her. I'm not. And people might be like, oh man, that's fucked up. Nah, let me tell you, what's fucked up is
people don't know I can
sit here for fucking at least the next 24 to 48 hours telling you why. And then you're like, so man, listen, this is my path, my story. No different than that. Yeah. That is your path and your story, and it's your choice to have those individuals extracted from your life. Who the fuck am I to be like, no, and that's not okay. I'm Mikey P living Mikey
I'll tell you
life.
Quickly now.
You're in that living Annette's life. Discreet, you're living your life.
Yeah.
So what do you guys say?
I left my wife years ago, and shortly after I left, she was ill. But shortly after I left, she died. But I didn't have much sympathy because I was so hurt and just, similar to what you just felt. People come to me and like, oh my God, your wife died. And I was just like, yeah. And people were, I seen the look on some people's faces. They're a bit like, oh, right. It shocked people, but they don't know what happened. So
Right. And it's, for me, I feel like a Cinderella story. Because that's how I was growing up, and I don't want to get all emotional on here.
Yeah.
Hey, we're having a conversation. We're having a human conversation. Let's go.
But it's like I woke up, right, and I'm like, what the hell am I doing this shit for? why am I putting up with people that I don't have to put up with? You know, and I'm just being real, like. It's not like they're there. The thing that gets me is they weren't there. I was always there. I was always the one picking up the phone, checking on people. Oh, you need something? I'm like the first one to go out and help. You know what I mean? But when it comes to me, it's like, she's good.
Yeah.
And so like what you were saying, Mikey P, when people hit me up and they just don't talk to me right, and maybe there's a trigger or maybe there's something. No, I think it's just my spirit's not connected with your spirit. And I'm just letting you know, like, I love your craft, but, we can't talk on a daily because you just have that way about you. And I'm on a different level, So. Okay, well, that was interesting. Moving on to the next question.
Hey, we keep it real, man. We're having a real human conversation right now. That's all it is.
Right? So, if y'all can bring back a moment from hip-hop history to witness a person, what would it be and why?
Sorry, so I understand the question. Bring back a hip-hop history moment. Did you say person or moment?
One moment from the hip hop history to witness the person.
Ooh, okay.
Oh,
what would it be and why?
Oh man!
I've got mine.
Go ahead, Discreet.
So back in 2004, I went to Eminem's tour, anger management tour.
Oh.
And I had a great time. It was awesome. I was with a group of friends, and I wish I could go back to there and just be on my own and do it on my own terms. Because I remember leaving that concert, it was still going, and I was leaving, and like you're walking, and I ended up walking backwards, like with my head turned, and I wasn't looking where I was going. I did not want to leave. And it was like, if I could do anything, I wish I could go back there and just take in the whole show. Because it was brilliant. There was Eminem, 50 Cent, Cypress Hill, Exhibit. Yeah, they were all there. It was, yeah. I wish I could do that all over again. Definitely.
You had to leave. Wow.
Yeah, because the guy who was driving wanted to beat the traffic, basically.
What a little bitch!
And I just did not want to leave.
Bitch.
I know.
Bitch, don't ever
Actually,
get yourself a friend like that ever again.
I know. I remember leaving with. I wasn't looking where I was walking. I was just like looking with, like, just trying to capture every last little bit of when I was there. But yeah, I wish I could just go back there again.
And I'm gonna give a collective as my answer. And Discreet, this is gonna resonate because we talk about this all the fucking time.
Mm.
I wish I could bring back the moments in hip hop during the 1990s where people actually had their own sound. What I mean by that is simply this. If you were hearing somebody for the first time, all right, you heard Wu-Tang for the first time, you heard Ludacris for the first time, you heard a DMX for the first time, you heard Exhibit, Snoop, Dre.
There's never been no one like Luda.
A Master P, whoever during this time period. You heard them for the first time.
You knew it was.
You had a good idea of what region of the country that these people were from, because regions had their own sounds. And I think we're starting to go back to that a little bit, but I wish I could bring that. If I could just wave a fucking magic wand, rub a magic genie lamp, that's what I would bring back as far as hip hop moments. When you heard somebody for the first time, you had an understanding or idea where these motherfuckers were from. These cats are from the Northeast. These motherfuckers are down south. This is West Coast. This is Midwest. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's
Ludacris,
what I would bring
when
back.
you said that name, I tell you what, he would probably, if he was a bit more consistent in his later years, and like even today, he would probably be in my top 5, because there was a period in my life where, like still to this day, I've never heard anyone like Ludacris. He's fucking excellent.
Yeah.
He's brilliant. Yeah.
That's so true. When you move, I move.
Just like that.
Move, bitch.
I
Get out the way. Get out the way.
Southern, number 38. Number 38 last night that I recorded was Ludacris's Southern Hospitality.
Yeah, oh man, he had so many. I've got about 3 or 4 of his albums in my collection here.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
I need to catch up with your stuff, guys.
Oh man,
you guys have a lot.
I've got a stack of CDs that I've not even got a CD player anymore, but I cannot depart with these CDs.
Right? Yeah.
Part of my history.
Yeah, definitely keep it and get you a CD player. I'm sure that
Probably will one day. Yeah, it's so easy now to just go on your phone and like Spotify, right? Type in who you want, bang, and there you go.
I know, it's so nostalgic. So let's talk hot takes, right? What's one opinion you hold about hip hop today that would have people either cheering or ready to fight? Uh-oh. I know one, but I'm not gonna tell you. Let me stop.
What? Oh, really? I'll probably have to go to ready to fight, because I'm sure I've got some opinions.
Do you want me to go first? Because there's one that jumps out to me that we did about 10 months ago at this point. You want me to go first?
Yeah, go first. Yeah.
All right, here we go. Here we go. Oh, I hope I don't get as angry as I did when I brought this up 10 months ago. Because I might want to fight myself. Right. I'm kidding. I won't. Yo, here's the deal. Everybody that was bitching last year when Kendrick Lamar got named the Super Bowl halftime performer over Lil Wayne, that's a hot take. The call that was made was the 1,000,000%, read my lips, 1,000,000% right take. Kendrick Lamar being the Super Bowl halftime performer this past year, or this year technically, over Lil Wayne. I don't care if it was New Orleans. I don't care. Y'all that thought the other way around, y'all are wrong. Fight me debate me, come find me. I don't give a motherfucking fuck, because that's a hot take, and I stand on that shit. No different than I did 10 months ago. And if you want the real feel of what I gave, go to the We Outside Live podcast. It is a short up there. Go listen to that shit, because I went in and I had facts. Nothing but it wasn't my opinion. It was facts that I gave my debate. So that is mine. And if you don't like it,
I've got
go
one.
ahead, Discreet.
Might make people argue. Right, I'm gonna say that Chicago drill rap, the lyrics are just trash, because it's like it encourages people to carry on shooting people, killing each other, and I just think all that drill scene is a load of crap, negative devil shit. But the one hopefully that people will agree with me on and cheer about is that feature J. Cole done. I can't remember the guy's name, right? But the song was called Grippy. And that was the biggest load of rubbish I've ever heard in hip hop in all my life. And still to this day, I do not know why J. Cole even agreed for that to be released. Like, what? I swear to God, I still don't know what his game was to this day, because that was like pitiful. It was absolute crap. And J. Cole was happy for that to go out and have his name on it.
You know what? You know what? I'm glad that you know that Discreet, Grippy, because of course I learned so much from my kids, right? So I was watching one of the YouTube shows that they were watching, and then Grippy came on. I'm like, wait, what?
I'm going to get more coffee. I'm listening, but I'll be right back. I'm going to get more coffee.
It's like Grippy, okay, and you know, it was like a meme or whatever that they were doing on the YouTube channel that they were watching, you know, like Roblox. You know how like you watch Roblox and like kids playing. And so lately, my middle son, he's been into this. I think it's called Grow a Garden in Roblox. It's like a stock market, yo.
Yeah, I've heard about that.
And it's like, no, I mean, this is serious stuff. It's like he's on Wall Street. And I said, you gotta go shower, you gotta go brush your teeth, like, you know, we gotta.
And he doesn't want to.
It's like, he crashed out yesterday. I'm not gonna lie. He crashed out yesterday. I'm gonna miss my, I don't even know what it was, a pet egg, or I don't know what it was.
And it was so important.
He literally cried, and I'm like, dude, it's gonna be okay. And then he went back because he had his Nintendo Switch, and he was watching the live from that Grow a Garden, the stock, like what's in stock, what vegetables are in stock, what time is 96 hours, or he literally is so like laser focused on that.
Yeah, that's all he thinks about.
And I'm like, dude, you know, like, how about make us some cash?
Yeah, think about the rest of your life. But have you ever heard the full song Grippy with J. Cole and I don't know who it was? If you listen to it, it is just awful. It's absolute. I just can't believe it. I've not listened to it since, but I still know it's flipping awful. And I would like to think everyone would agree with me on that. So there's my two hot takes. And yeah, drill music is trash.
Well, mine is, I still can't get over, and this is probably going to spark a bunch of conversations or whatever, but the Biggie and Pac back in the 90s, like I can't get over that stuff.
Yeah.
But anyway, moving on.
Because it shouldn't have happened, should it?
Right.
We all know now that it just, they were like killed like almost by their own people, basically. We thought they were killing each other.
Yeah, for the longest, people kept putting that hoax out, like Tupac, they're in Cancun somewhere, and I was praying, like, I hope they're anyway. So how do you keep it real with your audience, right, while still navigating like the business and industry politics in the music scene?
we just say what we feel, really. I mean, and if it upsets people, if we do bring up these like things that come up now and again, like Kendrick and flipping Drake or whatever, we'll say how we feel. And if people have got a different opinion or don't like it, they can get in the comments, can't they?
Yeah.
And then, maybe even get them on the show to argue it. But, I don't think anything that happens like outside is really going to stop us doing how we do it, is it? Mikey?
I think you're right, Discreet. And I think in that, for me, me to this point specifically, I think it's setting the right expectations, right? Like anything we do, any work we ever do, any group we find ourselves in around, there's politics, right? Politics is just a general term, right? Like you say politics, people think Republicans, Democrats. Now, politics is just, you're moving in a circle of what the fuck ever, right? And you get in where you fit in, right? So like me, I'm always going to be me. I let people know what the fuck it is. Like, as long as you're going to be cool with me, we could be cool with each other. Doesn't mean I always have to agree with something you're doing or buy into it, but I'm going to be respectful to you. That's really it. And it comes with setting expectations, right? But at the same time, in moving in the industry, you do have to be careful, how you go about things. You have
people sometimes say, don't they, before we start a show, they might have something they don't want to talk about or don't bring this up. And it's like, all right, cool.
Correct. And that's fine. That's fine. But as far as moving, remaining who you are to your brand or yourself, and it's just setting the right expectations. Like this, like what I say is what I do. What you see is what you get. Like, you're not going to get anything different. I'm going to keep it black and white with you. Like, there's no gray area with me. And like, if that doesn't fit into us doing a project, then fucking cool, man. Because like, again, like people are always like, Mike, what's your brand? What's your this? Man, it's authenticity. And if you're not down with authenticity, we're just not going to be able to ever do like a project together, or we're not going to have synergy. And I'm okay. I'm completely okay with that, because if there's not synergy with me and somebody else's project, I don't want anything to do with it anyways, because as far as what my brand is, being authenticity and real messages, well, I don't want to put my time into that shit anyways. I only have a finite amount of time and energy to give while I'm here on this earth. I think I'm willing to put into shit that's going to be on brand. You know what I mean?
We've had one occasion, haven't we, Mikey, where we were going to have a guest on, and then I went away. I went and got on with my life, and then a few hours later, when Mikey was talking to him, Mikey come back to me and said, "No, we're not having him on." I won't say the name or anything, but that's only happened once, isn't it?
I don't remember the name. You know why? Because it was irrelevant. That was a lesson in time and moment for us where the universe was like, this dude doesn't belong on this show, because this motherfucker. Like, this was. I'll say this. No, actually, I'm gonna shut my fucking mouth. I'm gonna shut my fucking mouth. I'm gonna say
I love it.
No. I'm gonna say this. No, fuck it. Discreet. Hold on. This was a dude. All right. Let me tell you why. This was a dude who was talking about hypocrisy with us, right? He was talking to us about hypocrisy. Yet, this was an African American dude who was claiming to be Native American so he can partake in Native American resources that were being given to him by the government. So here's why I say this, because this dude was popping off about being proud of who he is and who he was. Right? But then in the same sentence, he's like, nah, I'm Native American. I'm Native American. Bro, what the fuck are you? Like, bro, let's start there. Like, you first off have an identity crisis. All right? But then you're gonna sit here and say you're this, but you're gonna check off this on a box so you can go get Y from it. Hey, listen, man, if that is unauthentic, I don't know what the fuck it is. And you know what? I wish you well, but man, we are closing the fucking door to the we outside to you. Yeah, you can stay in your motherfucking house at that point. We're good.
It's like there's some people in life that I don't particularly like or don't get on with, but I would never purposely go out to hurt them or set up a trap where I know they're going to get hurt. I'm not purposely doing stuff to, because that goes against what I want to be good. I want to try and be good.
Yeah. Right. I mean,
I'm not always. I've got banned from driving yesterday. Do you know what I mean? So, but I try.
Yeah. Bambi is just too cute. Like I can't do it. Like, I can't do it.
But sometimes you have to. I'm just saying.
I know, but still. Oh my gosh, but I might just turn into a vegan. No.
Oh man, no. I couldn't imagine a life without meat. I'm sorry to say, but if someone said to me, "You're never allowed to eat meat again," I'd be like, "Huh? What am I going to eat then? That's going to keep my belly full." There is stuff out there, I know, but like meat seems important.
Right, exactly. I said never mind. Well, I'll go ahead and say it. So I had a recording, a pre-recording that I'm gonna be posting soon. But so we were talking about like back in the days, like relationship stuff, right? How the women stayed home, and how the men go out and hunt for meat, right? And the women go and like get berries and stuff like that. So I said, yeah, the man gets the meat, the women gets the berries, and I'm like, did I just say that?
That's what they got. That's what they got.
It's like, leave it to me, you know.
Yeah.
It's just funny. Like I like, so I don't even know what I'm saying.
You know where you're going.
He was like, wait, did you just say meat and berries? Anyway, it's a little anecdotal.
I like my meat, but I do like berries as well. Them types of berries that you're talking about.
Hold on.
I'm not keen on the ones that grow on trees, but yeah.
Did I just learn something new about you today? What the fuck is going on right now?
Oh man, I've got a filthy mind when I want to have. Like,
I don't know. You're talking about liking meat and berries. Annette, can we get on this conversation? Because Discreet, you and I gotta have a conversation when we get on this conversation. I don't know if this is the right. I don't know if this is the right place for this conversation, Discreet.
Okay.
Be outside.
Are we in the know right now?
We are in the know. Discreet like
yeah.
Okay. I don't know what that means, but moving on.
Okay, moving on. Let me try to. Woosah. All right. So, what's something about the hip hop scene?
Yeah.
Artist, producer, or creative, right? That you think people are sleeping on heavy?
Oh. I know a rapper that I don't know if he promoted himself a bit more, but I know he's not. That's not about it for him. But like, if you ever heard of Illness, like a rapper, he's just. I think he's brilliant. Like, I just think he's fucking brilliant. But a producer as well, I would say. I was going to say JPZ, but like he produced Tech Nine's album.
But that's people. I think eventually aren't going to be sleeping. But I think that's a valid point that you're making. I think that's a valid point that you're making, bro.
Yeah, but maybe me as well. But with me, like, I do make some real good shit. I know that.
Yes, I know too.
Like, I always my first priority in life is always my daughter. So like sometimes when shit happens with her, and she's 14 now. And she it's a weekly thing. She'll fucking go and do something that pisses me off, or something major happens, and that can totally flip my mind off music. I will not care about anything. I just want to make sure everything gets done with my daughter. So yeah, if I didn't have a daughter, I'd probably be a lot further in my my producer career, if you like, or further than I want to be. But I like the fact that I don't care. Like, my daughter does come first. That's the thing with me. Yeah.
Yep. No, facts. All right. I'm going to give you one for each category of what you asked, Annette. Very simple. Creative. Number one, Big Court and the Holden Court podcast. If y'all have not checked out Big Court and the Holden Court podcast, which, by the way, we're going to have Big Court on the show at some next time he comes to Kansas City. He's going to be on the show with us. Go check out the Holden Court podcast as a creative. 100%, no doubt about it. Number two, producer. Discreet's already said it. JPZ. In addition, and here's why. in addition, I'm going to give you a couple names, and I'm going to give the explanation as to really why.
Yeah.
Discreet's already mentioned. I think we might have mentioned it earlier. Jay Peasy is the first and only producer. We're talking about Tech Nine, okay? Arguably the greatest independent artist, most storied independent artist of all time. 5816 Forest, his album that just came out 2 weeks ago. This is the first album that Tech Nine has had only one producer on the entire album. Think about that for a second. We're talking 3 decades worth of music. Tech Nine has put out albums and albums and albums. First time in almost 3 decades that only one producer has been on a Tech Nine album. All right. Wow. Some other people that Jay Peasy has produced for: Richie Rich, E40, Young Dolph, NBA Youngboy, Salik. It goes on and on and on. And here's why for me, okay? Discreet and I talk about this all the time. There are producers and there are beat makers. There's a difference, people. If you don't know, I'm about to explain to you right the fuck now where the difference is. Last year, literally at this time, Jay Peasy, I bought a beat off of him, all right? And I went and did the track, blah, 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 blah. I sent it back to him. It was all mastered and everything. And he goes, nope, this ain't happening, bro. He had 50% publishing rights. And he said, this is not going out. And here's why. He's like, I've listened to some of your stuff. I hear what you're saying in this track. He's like, I want to help you. I want to produce you on this track. And I said, what the fuck? I was taken aback. I was like, yes, please, let's go. 2 months. We worked on this track for 2 months. There were days where I got my shit pushed the fuck in. There was a conversation that we had. He said something to me. I was so humbled. I was so humbled by this conversation. I did not respond to him for 3 days. No text messages, no phone calls. It was me and my mind and like, wow, what the fuck did he mean by that? So that's why people are sleeping on this motherfucker, because a lot of people out here just see a producer as a beat maker. No, ladies and gentlemen. There are beat makers and they are producers. So to my brother, to our family member on the We Outside Livecast, Jay Peasy is fucking slept on right now. Slept on. And now I'm going to give you two artists that are being slept on right now. That I think they're on the path. The first one, they're both in Kansas City. The first one, Irv the Phenom out of Kansas City. He can sing. He can do so many things. He's
someone else.
He's a beautiful human being. And number one, or the second person, coincidentally, in that is somebody that I saw in one of your reels from last night. And the heading on it was like, "This is my new favorite couple on TikTok." Yo, Rob Lowe the Star. Yo, she just did it. Here's, let's connect some dots. She was out in the Bay. She did a track with Double R Richie Rich. Yo, Rob Lowe the Star. She's gonna be on the live cast eventually as well. Yo, she is. Yo, I'm gonna tell you right now. I want to do a track with her. I want to be on a track with Rob Lowe the Star. Yo, the energy, the authenticity, the I give no fucks about her messages.
Yeah.
I'll
say a few more.
Oh man, yo, Rob Lowe, let's do a track, yo. I don't care what I gotta pay for the feature.
Said he said as well. He said, Go Fresh the Dawn, Hectic.
There's a slew of them.
Them three are crazy.
Wow. Yeah. What's that?
I'm excited.
Me too. I'm excited. Look, when you were drinking your coffee, I don't want to say it again, but no, okay, that's Wondr. I'm not gonna say it again. Medium berries. Okay. He would have like.
Oh, brilliant.
You know, I had to mess with Mikey P. Oh my gosh. So, what's the most We Outside live cast moment? Like, you've had so far, and why is like podcasting, right? What's your why, excuse me, in your podcasting?
All right, can you give me that answer, or that, excuse me, I'm gonna give you the answer, maybe. Can you give me the question one more time, please?
Oh, I think I need another cup of coffee. What's the most energetic, exciting moment, right? And We Outside live cast that you've had so far that it's like it's ingrained in your memory. And what's your why into podcast? I mean, yeah, you said the authenticity, but what is your why? 5 years, 10 years down the road, this is why. You're in the futuristic 10 years down the road, but you're looking back as to this is why we're doing this.
Yeah.
I hope I explained it right.
Yeah, you did. I've got to say my most memorable moment is the comedy one with Derek Rush. I just he told this joke and he done it, I swear to God, he delivered it just like he would have on stage, right? And I felt like I was at one of his shows, and I just I was genuinely just bursting out laughing. And obviously it's not quite a memory of how far it's coming at, but that is my most memorable moment, just for how much he made me laugh and the effort he put in to deliver the joke just how he would do on stage. And it just always sticks in my mind. But unfortunately, that one's not on YouTube. Hopefully he'll do that again for us when he comes on next.
No, I'm sure he will.
Yeah.
For me, I'm gonna have to say when we had Unconventional Kings on, specifically when High Def either explained one of their songs from their album UKMF, which stands for Unconventional Kings, motherfucker.
Yeah.
He talked about a conversation that he had with Joey Cool out in Las Vegas about how he ended up coming up with the concept for the track Shadows, right? Because he had no idea. He explained he had no idea what he was going to do with that track. And then he explained that moment that happened at a Tech Nine concert, before a Tech Nine concert anyways, with Joey Cool. And he rapped a cappella on the show for us. So for me, it really resonated as an artist because one, he gave an explanation, and I love being able to get explanations from certain tracks, especially if you got to really analyze some shit, right?
Yeah.
And then being an artist for you to go a cappella on a live cast.
Yeah.
So, and then to answer the second part of it, and then Discreet add on to anything that you wish to add to this, the whys, Annette, as we've evolved now, being in the We Outside, having the We Outside live cast for 15 months now, for us, it's really the whys of the authentic conversations with people who kind of get overlooked in a way, right? Like the producers behind the scenes, people who don't necessarily have a big name as a mainstream artist. Listen, there are a lot of people out here, producers, creators, artists that are better. Here's a hot take for you. Motherfucking moment. For take for your people that are better than some of the people that you see out here every fucking day. Getting pushed and marked. So we want to, yes, go ahead.
I seen Snoop Dogg's latest video song with Sexy Red yesterday, and I was so disappointed that Snoop wants to work with someone so untalented. Mate, I listened to her verse a few times and I just thought, this ain't even good. And then I started to think, has anybody ever said, oh, Sexy Red's got bars? No one's ever said that. Like, what is she doing here?
No,
I'm sorry, but that's what I think of her. And I just feel disappointed in Snoop Dogg. Like, why are you doing that, bro? I honestly got more respect for the collab he done with Katy Perry. Because Katy Perry is a pop song, but Katy Perry done her bit very well, what she's meant to do, being a pop star, singing, talented. Snoop Dogg done his bit. That was a great song, really, because they both done what they do very well. But this one, even as a hip-hop track, Sexy Red, like, you can't even really put your words together properly. Like,
well, you're right, Discreet. I think that speaks to
that's
the
my
whys that
opinion
we're
on
talking
that.
about, right? Like we want to the whys is simply we want to have real conversations with real people. I don't care if you're a creative, an artist, a business person. Like the whys is let's talk about what makes this work for you and why authenticity is important. Again, in a world of fake, like that's why we, you know, we don't have any bells and whistles to our live cast. Like wherever we are, we're gonna have, because for us the whys is the conversation. That's what the why is ultimately for me anyways. I'll let Discreet explain his why, but that's why it is for me, because I just want to talk with real fucking people out here that are grinding day in and day out, that eventually are going to make it to that point where, like, you know, everybody quote unquote knows their name. You know what I mean?
And it's good to know, like, that people want to talk to us because they see how much we care about hip hop, and they obviously watch and think, I want to get on there. I like what they're doing, and that makes me feel good as well. So that's another why, really, that we must be doing something right.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
It looks like a bunch of people have been on Instagram. Justified Smith, Platinum Bones, Riz.
What up, family? What up, family?
There's a bunch of people. My apologies if I didn't list all the names, but you know, I have to throw this in, but it's so true because like the underdogs are always not looked, right? And going back, I'm nothing against Drake, but when I first heard
Drake never liked him.
I was like, is he just talking? Like, I mean, again, everybody
something about him. He can rap sometimes, and but he just every since he first come out, there was something about him. It's like there's something about him I don't like. There's something fake about him, and I've never got into Drake, never. And when Kendrick ripped into him, well, even before that, Pusha T. When he said the shit he said, I thought, see, I told you was fake, Drake. And then Kendrick come out, and now he's fully exposed. And I thought, I knew I was right. I fucking knew it.
I just couldn't. I mean, everybody has their cup of tea. I was like, I couldn't like jive with it when I first heard him just talking. I'm like, shit, I can talk in the mic.
You want to know something?
I've got a good sixth sense, and it paid off with Drake.
You want to know something? I'll tell you this right now. Drake is the modern day Vanilla Ice.
Yeah, in a way.
I said it. Here's what I mean by that. Drake is not a hip hop artist. Nope.
He was on a TV show.
Drake is a pop artist, people. That's a fact. Because here's the deal. We talked about
I thought he was more of a singer, right? Sorry, we're off now. Right?
No, we are off. We're gonna go off fucking rails right now.
When he first come out, and when people would say, "Oh, you know, Drake the rapper," I used to turn around and say, "Rapper? What are you talking about? He just sings all the time. He just sings all the time. He's a singer, isn't he? He's not a rapper." But I have heard him rap since then, and he can do it a little bit. But he's a singer. He is a singer first.
He's a pop star. He's a pop star, bro. Throw that motherfucker his bubble gum and give it to him. He's a pop star. I'll give you your stars.
Rapper.
You're pop stars, bro. You're pop stars, you pop tart. Here's the deal. All right? Here's the deal. Yo, congratulations. Buku dollars, bro. I ain't got nothing left for you. But you're not a hip-hop artist. Justified Smith, shout out to the brother, Justified Smith. He said it last week. Hip-hop is something that you live. Hip-hop is not something that you do. Nope, it's not. Drake is a pop star. Let's not get that shit twisted, okay? That's all I'm going to say on that.
Oh my gosh.
We can do a whole nother show on that.
Right.
We only have so much time.
Glad that what I first thought of Drake has flourished into reality, let's say. What I first...
Yeah, meat and berries, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we're gonna move on to the bonus quickfire round.
Oh boy, let's go.
Here we go. First album you ever bought?
Oh God, I'm not quite. It might have been Tupac, All Eyes on Me, but there was a bunch. I remember like the first 6 I had. and Cypress Hills, Black Sunday was one of them.
Okay.
Tupac's All Eyes on Me was among it. I think Exhibit, one of Exhibit's albums. But they were like some of the first few albums I ever bought. I think I'll just say Tupac All Eyes on Me. I'm pretty sure that's probably the first one in hip hop that I purchased.
First one I ever bought. 1991, 92 would have been Nirvana's Nevermind. I brought it from a store called Bradley's, for anybody that remembers Bradley's, a department store back in the day.
Huh. Is that the Northeast region?
Northeast, yep.
Okay, interesting. Okay, next one. Dreams versus battle that hasn't happened yet.
Me going to America.
Okay.
I'm going to America. It's a dream. It's not happened yet, but it's going to happen.
Okay.
And what's your battle? Did you say dreams and battles?
Yeah. A battle that hasn't happened yet. Me getting to America.
Okay.
Yeah, that's going to be a battle because I've never been to an airport before. And so, yeah, I've got to be switched on. That will be a battle that I've got to face in the future.
Dreams. Honestly, like the sustainability of the life that I've already built. I just want to be able to continue to live that dream because I'm living the dream right now. Like literally, if you go to my Instagram page, it says visionary, asset, and rapper. I'm living that today, and I simply want to be able to sustain that. And I think that's a daily battle as well. I'm an entrepreneur. I don't have a job. Everything that I have,
your dreams are your battles, aren't they? Really,
they are in a way, right? Like that's the battle is the daily life, right? And I wake up, I think, and the battle becomes the mind frame, right? We could very easily, as humans, get lost in our own minds, right? And I like to live by saying, I live by a saying that I know it keeps me grounded. Yesterday has already happened. You can't change it, but you can learn from it. Tomorrow has not happened, so I can't really put anything into that, right? Because
just concentrate on today.
It's a blessing. Just worry about the next breath, the next step that I'm going to take, and that's the battle in and of myself. Because I live, kind of to answer the question that most people would probably answer with respect to a battle that you talked about, Annette. Like for me, it's the internal battle.
Yeah.
The battle that hasn't happened tomorrow. Because I know every day with the life that I'm building for myself, the energies that I put out there, I know there's going to be battles coming at me that are out of my control day in and day out. So you know what? As long as I battle myself every day and come out on top, then I know it was a battle worth fighting, and I know that I can win any fucking war that I go into.
Through each day,
I control anything that goes on outside of there because it's a choice.
So true. East Coast, West Coast, South, or UK? Who's running it right now?
I'm going to say West Coast.
Oh, West Coast. Man. Well, definitely not the UK. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
Let's start there. It's Atlanta. It's Atlanta. It's Atlanta. It's Atlanta. Hands down. Okay. Discreet and I talked about it a couple weeks ago on hip hop. Right now, today, Atlanta is the modern day mecca of hip hop today. No doubt about it.
Okay, I can dig that. One artist that's criminally underrated. One.
Ludacris.
Two. Man. Can I say two?
No,
Exhibit
one.
Redman.
No. You get one. God damn it. This isn't your show.
Exhibit. Okay, Exhibit.
Okay.
Exhibit.
Okay, there you go. Thank you.
Okay. Next one. Producer tag that gives you instant goosebumps.
Oh, Mustard.
Discreet for me. I'm not just saying that. Discreet. Like and
I've just recently got a new tag as well. You heard it, right?
No, I have not.
No.
I'm going to take it one step further if I can. Discreet told me at one point that he was going to stop putting tags on his beats.
I did for a while.
That upset me.
Just
I'm happy that tags are back. Discreet, because I'm so connected to you on like that. Discreet. Anytime I hear Discreet drop, I'm like, yo, this shit is going to be ridiculous, whether it's one of my tracks or not. So Discreet, 100%.
Yeah, I did. I also listened to your stuff too, Discreet. So I really dig
thank
it.
you.
Yes, I love it. Most overrated fast food spot. Go.
Oh.
Popeye's chicken.
Okay, dude.
McDonald's, even though I still go there, but it's overrated. I hate it, right? A lot of the times when I go, not a lot of the time, but sometimes it really pisses me off. I'll take my food and I always have a toffee latte with the cream on, the toffee all over it, right? And then I pull away, I don't check nothing because it's pretty good. And then I get round, I open my coffee and there's nothing on it. It's just a coffee.
Oh,
no. And I'm like, you bastards, I paid for that. I fucking paid for that extra cream and toffee on top and there's nothing. And I haven't got the patience to go back around and complain about it. I just like whatever. But when that happens to me, it makes me hate McDonald's.
Tony's Talk Showcase and Queen of Stereo. What's up? Okay, next one, guys. Ready?
Let's go.
What one track that always gets the crowd hype, no matter where you are?
DMX Party Up.
Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna say a DMX track actually. Most of them off the Grand Champ album, where I'm from anyway, where in my local little area. Because when that first came out, like everyone in my little local borough loved that album.
Okay.
Yeah.
If your
Memories.
if your life had a theme song right now, what would it be?
You say life theme song right now?
Yes, right now.
I would say Lose Yourself.
Okay.
Yeah.
For me, it's an original track that Discreet and I have together. It's an original track that'll be coming out in a couple months from me with Discreet on the beat. It's called 1000 U's. Simply I'll give you the premise real quick. Like however many people you have in your life, that's how many versions of you there are out there. But the most important one is the one that you have of yourself at the end of the day. So that's something I'm living day in and day out right now. So 1000 U's by Mikey P, soon to be dropping.
Okay.
In time after the 100 track salute is done. So sometime after September 28th, because that's when 100 will be done.
Okay. Studio Essential. You can't record without. Go.
Oh. My computer.
Okay.
If someone took my computer away, I'd be knackered.
Oh God.
A microphone. All I need is a mic. I don't need anything else. When I go to the studio, I just need a microphone and somebody to record me. So I guess microphone and engineer. I gave 2 if that's okay. God, I don't need anything else. I don't need it. I don't eat. I don't water. That's all I do. Give me water so I can stay hydrated. When I'm in the fucking studio, I am locked the fuck in. I don't need sweets. I don't need food. I've gone 12-hour sessions without fucking eating. Give me a cigarette. I don't smoke no more, but give me a cigarette. So weed in this case now. Give me some weed and give me some water, and I'm fucking good to go for 10 to 12 hours. Straight up.
Okay. One word to describe hip-hop in 2025. Go.
Coming back. That's 2 words.
2 words.
Yeah. Recycling. A word that means coming back. That's only 1 word.
Mikey P.
Original. The originality is coming back.
Yeah.
Discreet and I talked about this is, we've been living in the influential era, and
I think one tracks that I keep hearing lately that he's been doing, and like
originality.
some of the beats he's doing it behind are just like, oh my god,
I think we're finally getting back to originality in hip hop for the first time in a long time. So originality.
Like all the albums that have come out, like Exhibit that's brought one out, LL Cool J, Redman, Eminem, Ice Cube. They're all starting to. I just hope that carries on. I really want them to keep putting shit out.
Okay. So, how has your experience been with Endino 360 since you met me?
It's been fun. I've liked it. It's been.
I've had a blast. I don't think there's been a moment where I wasn't cracking a smile. Unless actually, sorry, that's a lie. When you asked me about the hot take, when I was talking about Drake, or excuse me, Lil Wayne versus Kendrick, that was about the only time that I wasn't smiling, because I was really getting into my argument, my debate there. But no, it's been a privilege. It's been a privilege and an honor. I've had so much fun here with you today, and I've enjoyed the conversation. everything that we talked about. I've had such a pleasurable experience here today.
Yeah, thank you very much on that. It's been good. I've enjoyed it.
I appreciate you guys, and I know I've kept you hostage, but is there any other, like a shout out or anything you want to say to the audience today?
Shout out to Forever Fresh.
Okay.
Big up to them guys. I love them.
No, I will simply say this. Find the tribe that works for you. Find the people who are authentic in your life, and you will live the most beautiful life possible if you just seek authenticity.
Don't lie.
Life.
Don't lie.
No.
Try not to lie.
Yeah,
It will always get you in trouble.
Just be original. That will win every time. And the most important thing is legacy. Legacy is in a person's name. So think about this, people. When we talk about originality, when you are no longer here in the physical, what is your legacy going to be, people? Because people are going to attach legacy to your name when you're alive or unalive. So let originality be your path. That's all.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you guys for coming on. I'm going to be on your show tomorrow, so
we are looking forward to it. We are looking forward to it.
Until next time, let's continue to support the Unity for Social Justice. Let's free Masio and free
put the guns down as well.
Put the guns down. Make sure you tap in with Mikey P, Discreet, the Alien, We Outside Live podcast, because we outside and we in the know.
Much love. We will see you tomorrow, Annette. We are looking forward to it.
This has been a broadcast of Showing Love Full Circle between NNO 360 and We Outside. So,
thank you.
And God bless everybody. Much love.
You.